Hi, how are you guys? How's it going? I just got back from a walk. I'm a little sweaty, still even a little out of breath, but I have some good things to talk to you about today. Today, we're going to talk about the power of 90-day outcomes and what this really means. So, yesterday, we got into the idea of having clarity around your goals. And we talked about the idea that often we're setting ideals and we're not actually setting goals. And so what that means is we're setting ourselves up for failure, right? We talked about how when we don't know where we're going, we can never see the progress and we can never know that we've made progress to get there. And that can be a really discouraging, disheartening kind of thing. So today we're going to go deeper into the how. So, okay, I know I need to set this goal, but how do I do it in a way that actually works? And I'm going to teach you a concept that I learned from one of my first coaches, April Berzay. And one of the things that she had us do is work in 90-day outcomes. So 90 days is about 3 months. If you are Oh, looks like we're having trouble on. There we go. Okay. If you're on, in a year, you've got four of these sets of 90 days. So they kind of break down the year into quarters with your 90 days, and that can be really nice. A lot of businesses are run in quarters, right? But this is also a way to run your own personal life and your own personal goals. So the great thing about 90 days is it's short enough that you can kind of see, you can kind of know what's up for you in 90 days. It's short enough that you can picture it, you can feel pretty clear and really understand what's available for you to accomplish. But it's also long enough that you give yourself time to accomplish those results. I'll also add it's long enough to form a new habit. So if what you're working towards requires something daily, which most of the things that we're working towards do, they require a daily habit and they require a change of a daily habit. Well, 90 days is long enough to really cement in that new habit. And we're not getting too deep into habits today, but I just want to say this. Popular wisdom says it takes 21 days to form a new habit. Science actually shows that it's usually a lot more than that. 90 days is probably a lot more realistic time frame to really concrete, cement in that new habit to have it stick, where 21 days, often you're just getting into it. So keep that in mind. Okay, so when we're looking at 90-day outcomes, you want to get really clear on what you want to happen in the next 90 days. Now, this shouldn't be an isolation of like, oh, this 90 days is all I'm thinking about. This is part of a bigger picture, right? What do I want to happen? What do I want to have happen in the next year? What do I want to have happen in my life? This goes back to, in this series, we talked about creating a life vision. And if you're creating a life vision, you kind of know what things you want to have happen in your life. And so you're breaking down, what can I do in the next 90 days that will help me make progress toward the life that I want to have. Um, so one of the other things that April talks about in with these 90-day outcomes is she has 5 categories. She calls them the 5 points of power, and I think they're really powerful, so I want to touch on them here. Spirituality is one, relationships, identity, body, and contribution. And so those 5 are the things in your 90 days that you want to set outcomes. What outcome do I want in my body in the next 90 days? What do I want different in my body? What things am I going to do to get this outcome? So let me back up. What is the outcome I want? We'll work on what we do later. But the outcome is the final destination. In 90 days, I want to have this percentage of body fat. In 90 days, I want to be able to run a mile in this amount of time. Whatever that is. Spirituality. What are you going to do? What do you want your relationship with God or whatever that is for you to look like in 90 days? Identity, contribution, so that one's like business or personal goals if you're working on a book or a podcast, that kind of thing, and then relationships. And so in each of these areas, you say what the outcome is that you want to have in 90 days. For me personally, I used to really struggle. This is something that coaching has helped me with a lot because I used to struggle with writing down the outcomes and writing down the goals because tell me if you're like this. When you it's easy for me to work on stuff, right? I'm going to work on it all day long. I'm going to go out and exercise. I'm going to do these things. But when I say, "Oh, I want a certain percent of body fat. I want this certain outcome," we don't always hit it. And for me, when I didn't hit it, it felt like I was failing, even though I was working hard, right? I'm going out there and doing the thing. But if I don't reach that certain goal, that certain outcome that I've set, I kind of felt like a failure. And so that's been something that I've had to work through. And for me, what I've come to know is it's okay to fail. It's okay to not hit the outcome. This is the outcome that I want. And I'm going to do everything in my power to get there. But if I don't get there, I have still made progress. And that comes to the next piece of this. So when we're working towards an outcome, we want to say exactly what we need to do to get there. I talk about the body a lot, even though that's not necessarily what I coach on because it's so easy to measure. So we're going to stick in that category for a minute. Let's say you want to lower your body fat percentage by 3%, right, in 90 days, which is totally doable. You say, okay, 3% in the next 90 days. And how I'm going to do it is I am going to do intermittent fasting and I'm going to lift weights. And that's how I will get to my goal. And then every day you do those things. Now, at the end of 90 days, let's say you only drop 2% of body fat. When we look at that and we say, okay, first of all, was it a win? Yes, you did everything that you set out to do to make that goal, that outcome happen. Second, we want to look at, did you make progress? And this is where a lot of us go wrong. When we see our outcome and we see we're here, I wanted to lose 3% body fat. I only lost 2. Oh, I'm the worst, right? I didn't make my goal. I failed. However, when we're measuring our goals, what we want to do is go back to that 90 days when we set the 90-day outcome and see the gain and not the gap. So you measure backwards. I used to be 30% body fat. I'm now 28% body fat, even though I was shooting for 27. That's a gain, you guys, and that's what we have to measure. We have to measure what we did right. When we measure what we did right, that sets us up to succeed. We can say, okay, I didn't quite make the outcome that I wanted, but I made progress. That allows us to feel that success, and that's what keeps us going. So measuring that gain, what we did right, instead of measuring the gap. Because the truth is, even if you don't hit those outcomes, setting those outcomes helped you. It helped you create momentum. It helped you move forward. It helped you make progress to where you want to go. And that's so exciting because 90-day outcomes are like these sprints to help you like start making momentum, start making progress. Even if you don't hit that goal, you are still progressing to where you want to go. And so this is something that I challenge you to start doing. 90-day outcomes are a framework to help you evaluate your progress, to help you have checkpoints along the way. Those checkpoints are really helpful to see, what am I doing towards my goals? Yes, I have this life vision. Yes, I kind of know where I want to go, but am I making regular progress? And this is a check-in to see, where is my progress? It's a check-in. It's not a beat up station. I don't know how to say that, but it's not a place where you're going to beat yourself up for what you didn't do. It's a place to evaluate, and you're going to look at the good. So this 90-day, coincidentally, not coincidentally, is how long Mompreneur Life Made Simple is. It's a 90-day program so that we can work in this 90-day framework. So 90 days, 3 months, right? We work together and we coach and then help you through this process step by step of both setting the outcomes, making daily progress, seeing what that looks like on the daily, and then checking back in and seeing, how you progressed and what needs to change moving forward. So if you want help with this process, reach out, schedule a call with me. Our next group starts July 19th. And I would love to have you join us. It's going to be so good. And as we work through this, yes, it's powerful to hear about it. And I hope that you are gaining some things from this series. But it is the most powerful, just like I did with my own coach, it's the most powerful to have someone hold your hand through the process, to walk you through, and to like give you a virtual hug when you do fail, because you will, and to let you know that that is okay and you are still on the right path. And so I hope I can be that person for you. Schedule a call if that is speaking to you, and I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for being here. Bye.